The Death of Don Yolo. Never have I met someone as unique and as interesting as the Don. Indeed, my experience with the man was most possibly the most memorable experience I've ever had. You see, I'd known the Don for a long time and had an arrangement with him where we'd share our accounts and pretend to be one person. Despite this, I've never actually met the man nor conversed with him. I can't remember how we'd even reached this agreement, which raised questions concerning the Don and his moral views on how to interact with his fellow man. Did he drug me? Did he do naughty things to my behind? It doesn't feel violated, if that counts for anything. Where was I? Oh yes, okay. Before the day I'm writing about, I had never interacted with the man, or at least never remembered doing it. This was destined to change the day I received a letter from the infamous Don asking me to interview him. I had no idea how he looked like or anything. And now I was going to interview him. This was insane. The letter, in its prestigious orthographic style, demanded that I interview at a, as he put it, dope-ass restaurant with cool chairs and sit on the corner of Wankstein and Bowcat. At first, I assumed that this was some sort of code that I had to solve. After all, who would name a street Wankstein? Who would name another Bowcat? I was surprised to learn that these were names of actual streets, and I was even more surprised to learn that there was indeed a dope-ass restaurant on the corner of these streets. The restaurant belonged to him, and the chairs had in face Vladimir Putin carved into them. I walked into the empty restaurant and yelled for Don Yolo swag. This provoked an annoyed response from somewhere in the kitchen saying, "You got to say the whole thing, man. It's like a pimp name Slickback or something." Very well then. Don Tristan Yolo swag. Their Nazarene. Their risen saviour. Are you here? It's me. Tristan, your interviewer, I said to him. Yeah, it's me. I'm back here. Let me just walk out and introduce myself. Like a real Nyquil. Aight, main. His appearance startled and disturbed me deeply. In every sense, he was perfectly identical to me in the phenotypical sense. I was overwhelmed by his flawless physical similarity to me. Hell, he even sported the same outfit as me. Yo, I'm Don Tristan Yolo Swag the Nazarene, the risen saviour, and we're doing that interview at the table right here. Alright, so you better sit down and get your paper out and sit yous in for a ride, boy, he told me in his typically loud fashion. I seated myself, started with the basics. Tell me about yourself. How are you today? Etc. His answer to the first question was, my name is Don Tristan Yolo Swag, the risen saviour, and I'm the dopest, flyest, OG pimp hustler, gangster player, hardcore motherfucker living today. And honestly, by the end of the interview, you're going to be totally and completely on my dick. His answer to the following question was, how am I today? I'm dandy, super dandy in fact, because I'm getting interviewed today by my favourite associate. And that's big for me, you see. Even though you're not consciously aware of this, you and I are so damn similar, despite our vast differences. Do you want to know what that is? Because I want to tell you, in fact. That's why you're here today, boy. I indulged him by inquiring about our many similarities. What followed has been burnt into my mind, replacing the joyous thoughts that used to flood my head regularly. I'm sure by now you noticed that your boy Don Tristan Yolo Swag looks just like you in every way. Our hair, our eyes, our beak of a nose, our blemishes, our fingerprints, hell, even our teeth are crooked the same. And the full truth is that only differences we have are in our names, which have similarities of our own, our ages, and our personalities. Would you care to know why? I told him to go on. I was intrigued. It's actually really simple, and I'll tackle each difference individually, despite their entwined nature. You see, He paused for a minute. Screw it! Don Tristan Yolo swag. We'll actually discuss this matter normally. It deserves that respect. You see, our names are different because, of course, we're different beings. You and I are not the same. But telling you that is like educating a priest on his denomination theology. It's redundant, no? I agreed. I knew you would, buddy. Now, our ages are different because we weren't born on the same day. Again, quite obvious. Again, I agreed. Now I'm going to tell you why our personalities are different, as promised. I could keep it short by saying it's because we're different people, but that's leaving off so many details. It kills the rising action of my monologue. We need a climax, a crescendo, otherwise I've wasted my time. Just finish it already, please, I begged. Fine, Tristan. Although we're different personalities, we're truthfully the same person. Once there was a boy named Tristan. Overall, he was a good kid, but like all people, he was a sinful person as well. You had negative personality traits that disguised you, so you cast them off from you. You tried to be a good person without the struggle that made you good in the first place. Evidently, this is impossible to fully accomplish, so you sort of settled with this manifestation of those traits who lived within you, and got a turn with your lovely wakey profile. Do you understand what I'm telling you? I believe I do. You and I look the same because we are, indeed, one person. You are a character conjured in my mind that represents evil within me. Your existence is counterproductive to the universal struggle. Blah, 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 I replied. Yes, exactly. So now I brought you here because I want to win. You see, I have a gun and I'm going to kill your ass. Because I want all the turns. I want to have all the control. You feel me, man? He asked, returning to his normal self. Say your last words because I'm going to shoot your dick, alright? It occurred to me that I was talking with myself, and that ultimately I controlled this manifestation of negativity. He wasn't going to shoot my dick off. By my decree, he had no right. Why ain't you talking? What, you want me to shoot off my dick? He inquired as he pointed the gun at his own crotch with his finger wrapped firmly around the trigger. We stared at one another until he got annoyed and said, Fine. I don't know what I was thinking. I can't win against myself. I can't get no control, no matter what I do. He then shot off his own dick and bled to death hastily. He spent his last reserve of energy giving me his final words. Fuck wakey. That was it. After that I blinked. He was no longer there, and any signs of him that existed beforehand vanished with him too. The restaurant was now an undeveloped patch of grass in a shady neighbourhood. Don Yolo ended an era he birthed into a wakey community at the moment of his genesis. I walked home with my balls intact and my sanity in question.